So what's going to happen today in the markets in regards to the Ukraine-Russia crisis and the sanction that we've put on them from the West? So if you didn't know, what we've done from the West is cut Russia out of the SWIFT system. Well, in most cases anyway, we've stopped their central bank from being able to deploy their reserves, but we are still letting ourselves buy oil from Russia using the SWIFT system. But let's get into some observations. So on the 4 hourly, this is the USD to ruble ratio. It's had like a 20% jump, but as you can see, it's massively volatile. Look at the wick on this candle here. I think there's just like low liquidity, obviously, in the trading pair. Obviously, it makes sense for the ruble to weaken, but we've got a lot of observations here. I don't think Russia is getting any poorer by any stretch of the imagination. Probably the everyday person cannot get access to cash, but Russia as a country, I don't think they're struggling. I think this is way more orchestrated than we think. This is on the daily, this is Brent oil, and the longer this war goes on, the more money Russia make in regards to oil. Russia is the third biggest oil producer in the world. And next we'll look at gold. Gold's obviously rallying. This is on the 4 hourly. Today we're up about 1% so far. Yes, it was massively volatile on the day of the invasion. No one really knows where to put their money. Do they want to keep it in cash? Do they want to store it in a safe haven like gold? But again, this plays into Russia's hands, being the 5th largest gold holder in the world with around 2,400 tons, weighing in at around $630 billion. So just a 1% increase in that is $6.3 billion. So although the war and the equipment is costing Russia a lot in terms of value, it's just a drop in the ocean in comparison to what they're making on both oil and gold. Then I was also looking at the DXY and the dailies, like the dollar strength. It is rallying a little bit today, up like 0.38%. Because I honestly don't know what to expect from these markets. This is from CNN. As you can see, the S&P 500 is projected to be 2.5% down, the Dow Jones 1.2%, and the Nasdaq 2.9%, while crude oil, Brent oil and natural gas is up 7%, 7% and 3.9%. We then had this statement from the Bank of Russia saying there's no stock trading today. And then the central bank saying that the selling of Russian securities by foreigners is banned, meaning that any American fund that are holding any sort of stock in any Russian company is now worth zero, basically. So that's just my thoughts on what I've seen so far and things that I wanted to highlight. But what does this mean for the economy as a whole? Well, I think it means that America and the UK are going to have to think about their interest rate hikes. People might be scared from assets and go into cash to try and hold cash to risk off. But is this going to lead to like a stock market crash and a depression when we've already got an inflated currency? I don't know. So then what do we do? Do we stimulate further? Do we not raise interest rates? Are we less hawkish from the Fed? Then that would increase inflation for the everyday person, also increase asset prices. People would not want cash as much. We're already at 8% inflation in the US. I can see a crypto run as a hedge and a transportable store of value.